Italy. Italy is located in southern Europe and overlooks the Mediterranean Sea. It is a mountainous peninsula in southern Europe that extends to the Mediterranean Sea. It includes the islands of Sicily and Sardinia, and there are about 70 other small islands belonging to Italy. Italy is one of the most visited countries in all of Europe. Italy is known for its wonderful cities, ancient attractions, cultural treasures, and spectacular landscapes. Italy is considered the home of Renaissance architecture. It contains many of the most famous and important tourist attractions in the world. Rome City is the capital of Italy. It is the seat of the Italian government and the largest city in the country. Rome is located on the bank of the Tiber River in central Italy. Rome is distinguished by its ancient history. It is the source of civilizations that combines history and culture. It also has an important place in the history of the Roman Empire. It is considered one of the founding cities of Western civilization. It has been called the Eternal City. It is an international city and is known all over the world. The historic city center is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. There are many distinctive landmarks in Rome City, where you find theaters, temples, squares, ancient churches and magnificent fountains of amazing architectural beauty. Colosseum. The Colosseum is one of the main attractions of Rome. It is a world-famous monument that shows the greatness of the Roman Empire, which is one of the most powerful empires in history. It is a large theater in which heroes were seen fighting predators. Also, many executions and gladiatorial battles were seen there. Pantheon. The Pantheon is one of the best Roman ruins still standing. The Romans built it as a temple to honor their gods. This temple is one of the most prominent landmarks in the history of Roman architecture. The Pantheon is the only archaeological landmark of the Roman civilization that still retains its original shape and form. Vatican City. Vatican City is located in the heart of Rome. It contains religious and cultural sites and many artistic and architectural masterpieces, such as St. Peter's Basilica, which is the largest church in Europe and one of the most sacred and revered churches in the world. There is also the wonderful Vatican Palace, which is the seat of the Vatican Pope. Its walls were decorated by the most famous artists in the world, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo and Raphael. The Vatican City also features amazing museums that feature the most famous paintings and sculptures in the world. Trevi Fountain. The Trevi Fountain is one of the most famous landmarks in Rome. This fountain is famous for making wishes come true when a coin is thrown into its water. The Trevi Fountain has an attractive architectural design, and it is the most famous and largest in Rome. Venice City. It is an amazing city located in northern Italy, overlooking the Adriatic Sea. Venice is one of the most important Italian cities and one of the most beautiful cities in Italy. Venice City is distinguished by its picturesque nature as a large island divided into 118 small islands and connected to each other by a series of bridges and water canals, which makes it one of the most beautiful tourist destinations in Italy. Venice has been included in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of the distinctive features of Venice is the Grand Canal. It is the main waterway in Venice. The end of the Grand Canal leads to the Venetian Lagoon. This canal is like a river that extends for about 3,800 meters. Water buses are available in the Grand Canal to move through, which offers visitors with a view of the most important buildings and the most famous ancient palaces in Venice, which line the banks of the Grand Canal. Rialto Bridge. It is the oldest of the 4 bridges built along on the Grand Canal in Venice. It was built in the 16th century. This bridge is considered an architectural and engineering achievement with its distinctive design in the Renaissance period. The Rialto Bridge is one of the most iconic bridges in Venice, and one of the top attractions in Venice. San Marco Square. It is the main and only public square in Venice. It contains the most famous attractions in Venice, such as St. Marco's Cathedral, which is distinguished by its amazing architectural design. There is also the Doge's Palace, which was built in the old traditional Gothic style made of white stone. There is also the San Marco Campanile Tower, which is a bell tower belonging to the St. Mark's Church, which extends at a height of 99 meters. That makes it the tallest building in Venice, and it is a famous symbol of the city of Venice. Milan. It is the second largest city in Italy, located in northern Italy, specifically on the Lombardy Plain. Milan is the fashion capital of Italy and the world. It is the economic center of the country and one of the richest cities in Europe. Milan offers an amazing mix of ancient historical buildings and modern high-rises. Milan is famous for its elegant shops, galleries and restaurants, commercial institutions, banks and stock exchanges. One of the most important landmarks of Milan is the Milan Cathedral. Milan Cathedral is one of the most important and prominent tourist attractions in Milan. It is the largest church in Italy and the third in the world. It is an archaeological landmark with a very distinctive architectural character. The cathedral was built in a stunning Gothic style. The cathedral is characterized by its walls colored with precious stones, its painted ceilings, and its columns carved in a wonderful artistic way. The cathedral includes many historical artifacts of the kings and princes who contributed to the construction of this amazing building. It also displays many paintings and statues that were made by the most famous artists and painters in the world. Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II. It is one of the largest shopping malls in the world dating back to the mid-19th century. This large shopping center is full of luxury shops, restaurants, elegant hotels, and crowded cafes. It is also distinguished by its elegance as a magnificent architectural masterpiece with its luxurious colored glass dome. Verona. Verona is one of the most beautiful cities in Italy and one of the most important tourist destinations in Italy. Verona is located in northeastern Italy on the banks of the Adige River. Verona was the birthplace of Romeo and Juliet, and their tragic story took place there. It is also the home of the international writer Shakespeare, who associated many of his novels with Verona City, which Shakespeare considered a theater for his literary creations, and for this reason it is characterized by its literary and cultural richness. The city is also full of Roman ruins, many churches, palaces, castles and bridges. The most distinguishes of Verona is its magnificent ancient engineering architecture that dates back to the Middle Ages. The city is characterized by the beauty of its red-tiled roofed houses and beautiful streets. Verona City has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage List because of its important archaeological and historical sites. The most important landmarks of Verona is Arena Verona, It is an ancient Roman amphitheater and theater. The amphitheater is located in the historical center of Verona and is considered one of the most beautiful tourist attractions in Verona. Opera performances are held in the Arena Verona Amphitheater annually. Castel Vecchio Bridge. The Castel Vecchio Bridge is one of the most important archaeological sites in Verona. The bridge is located on the Adige River. It is one of the fortified bridges. It was built in 1354. The Vecchio Castle Bridge is distinguished by its beautiful design. The bridge allows tourists to climb it and enjoy the amazing views of Verona. San Pietro Castle. It is one of the most important landmarks of Verona, which has a historical value indicating its immunity and strength, which is considered one of the finest architectural models. Its construction dates back to the 14th century. San Pietro Castle was built to be a defense center for the city. San Pietro Castle has many features, such as its location on a high hill. It is also characterized by a unique building surrounded by tall towers and trees. Juliet's house. Juliet's house is located in the city center of Verona. It was built in the 13th century in the era of Shakespeare to commemorate his great play Romeo and Juliet. In which you will find Juliet's balcony, which was waiting for her lover Romeo. Lake Garda. It is one of the most beautiful lakes in Italy, and it is also one of the largest lakes in Italy. Lake Garda is characterized by its charming nature. It is surrounded by a group of olive trees, vineyards, plants and luxury tourist resorts. Many towns overlook the lake, such as the Desenzano di Garda town. Also the picturesque Malsazine town overlooks Lake Garda. The lake also contains many islands, that can be reached by boats that offer tours around the lake. One of the most famous landmarks of Lake Garda is Scaligero Castle. Scaligero Castle is a magnificent historical castle, and one of the best preserved castles in Italy. This castle was built in the 13th century. The castle includes fortified towers, high fences, a tower overlooking Lake Garda, and a spectacular bridge that features a staircase that you can climb to get great panoramic views of Lake Garda. Florence. Florence is one of the most beautiful Italian cities, which is characterized by a charming natural geographical location. It is located on the banks of the Arno River. It is one of the richest and most powerful medieval European cities. It was an important center of trade in the Middle Ages. Florence was the old capital of Italy during the Renaissance period. Florence City is famous for being one of the most historical and cultural cities in the world. Florence City has witnessed many civilizations that have contributed to building a historical heritage rich in its landmarks. One of Florence's most famous landmarks is Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral. Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral is one of the largest churches in the world. Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral is also characterized by its Gothic style and its magnificent dome, which is one of the largest domes in the world. The church contains a large number of artworks and statues, in addition to its walls decorated with inscriptions and drawings. Vecchio Bridge. The Vecchio Bridge is the oldest and most famous bridge in Italy. The bridge is located on the Arno River, which runs through the city center. Its construction dates back hundreds of years during the Roman era. Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast in Italy is one of the most beautiful tourist areas in the world, and one of the most charming destinations in Italy. The Amalfi Coast is located in southern Italy on the Mediterranean coast, which charming coastline extends for 50 kilometers and offers a view of unparalleled beauty. The Amalfi Coast enjoys its spectacular coastal scenery, with high cliffs and a backdrop of picturesque hill houses, and the splendor of charming towns that lie between steep cliffs and terraced on the slopes of the mountains, with a charming view of the Mediterranean Sea with clear turquoise water. The houses here look like jewels on hills and cliffs that seem stacked on top of each other. This is in addition to the scenes of lush canyons and sandy beaches, lemon groves, flowers, and olive trees. Also on the Amalfi Coast there are many historical archaeological sites and the most wonderful natural landscapes known around the world. The Amalfi Coast was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1997. I hope you enjoyed this short trip to Italy. To see more, please subscribe. Thank you for following up.